Hey everyone, I wanted to share these 7 habits inserts with you today. In case you wanted to buy them, if you were like I am, were interested in what they actually look like on the inside and what features that they came with. Franklin Covey, like all the other companies out there in the planning world, are either releasing or have released already next year's inserts and planners very soon. And this is the time that we all start thinking and dreaming about next year. Some of us, me here, I've been thinking about for many, many months. Let me just go ahead and start with the negative and just get that out of the way. Franklin Covey website, it just needs help. That's all I can say. When you go onto their website, first of all, it takes several clicks just to get to the store. And then when you click on a product, like this one for instance, you're on the details page. But there's no details under the details page. You have to click on Learn More, and then you actually start getting the specs of things, if they provide them. Unless you know Franklin Covey, though, you won't necessarily understand or get what they're talking about because they do have different kind of verbiage and a system that not a lot of people are aware of. These inserts, these 7 habits inserts, only come in 2 sizes. They're compact, which is their equivalent to personal, and the classic size, which is their A5. The compact is $43.95. The classic is $44.95. Now, I don't think that that's a ridiculous price, especially because these are day on 2 pages. So you would expect they're going to cost more because you get a lot with that. And it's equivalent to everything else out there that is exactly the same. It's day on 2 pages. However, I think with only $1 difference between the 2 sizes, I think that there needs to be a little bit more between the prices. I understand that most of the cost comes from the printing and the ink. However, there's such a big discrepancy between these 2 different sizes that I think there just should be a little bit more in the price difference. My main issue, though, is it is mid-August now, and these inserts on their website are still full price for the calendar year, which I think is just absolutely out of this world ridiculous. I don't know if their long-time customers, their regular customers, pay this or think that that's okay, but there is no way in the world that I'm going to pay full price for something which now is more than a year. 7 months are unusable. I ended up talking to customer service online. I had to ask for a discount, and I had to ask for at least a 50% discount. And then another problem is that this customer service online couldn't even help me with my order or reply. She had to give me a code to use, and then I had to call a completely different customer service and talk to them, give them the code, and basically it seemed like begging them to give me a 50% discount when they already should be half price. And so I did not appreciate that at all. I think that is terrible customer service. And for them to be full price at mid-August, for me, it just completely rubs me the wrong way. I think that really smacks of arrogance, especially when every other planner company in the world out there is already 50% off, and that includes both online and in stores, including their American competitors, which are Daytimer and Dayrunner. Franklin Covey is not a new company. And so they should be more than aware that there's going to be some sunk costs when you're doing dated planners and dated inserts like this. So come on, Franklin Covey. I think that's really rude and that is not cool. Anyway, let's move on to the positives. So I did end up getting these for $21.95. They did arrive in 4 business days, which I think is a good amount. It's definitely not like super fast or anything, but definitely nothing to complain about. These, like I mentioned, are day on 2 pages. Unfortunately, the 7 habits here, which is what I wanted, only come in that format and only those 2 sizes. So there's no weeklies, there's no wire bound, and there's no day on 1 page. I do think that they should add those, especially since the 7 habits is the core foundation of their company, but they didn't ask me. Anyway, the inserts themselves are the same format as the other day on 2 page Franklin Coveys. They just have some added features because of the 7 habits, and so that's another main reason why I wanted to go through these with you. So these are, let me see if I can get all these in my hand. As you can imagine, being day on 2 pages, they are very thick. So it's probably going to look thicker on camera because I've got my camera very low, but this is 2 1/4 inches. And so obviously you're not going to be able to get all of these into one of your binders. I don't know of anyone out there that would fit, but same thing with any ring bound planner though. You're going to have to pick and choose what you're going to put in there and how many months you're going to want to keep in there at one time. This does come with the starter pack, which I showed you in my accessories video. So this right here, this is the starter pack. And then this right here with these longer colored lines, this is the actual calendar inserts. Then you have some future planning pages. This section right here is the overview of the 7 habits, and then you've got a few note pages in back here. So I'm very happy with this. I am, like I said, just very happy. I'll get to that in just a second, more detail. But let's go ahead and go through the pages. As you can see from the very front, it's kind of got this very serene type of feeling going on. They do have a seasons inserts pack, and this is definitely not it, but they do kind of, it has that feel, I think, just based on these pictures. So they did pick one main picture for each season. And then when you look at your tabs over here, they are divided into 4 different colors for each season. So it does have, with the black and white pictures and these colors, I believe that they call them grays. I'm not an artist, so I'm probably wrong on that, but they're very dark, kind of muted, stark, masculine colors. It's got kind of a heavy feel to it, in my opinion. There are no other choices, though, as far as the colors are concerned. When you order the 7 habits, this is what you get. So the first winter is going to be this greenish color, and then you've got kind of a reddish brown, a taupe color, and then a muted blue color there. Let me show you what those look like from the top. You can order, obviously, separately some different ones, but you can't order these colors separately, but you can order just the blank ones. If you do get the starter pack, which again I showed you, then you'll just have the 12 blank white ones that you can just cover up. The only difference I've seen between what comes with the inserts and what comes with the starter pack is that the inserts don't have the white page of tabs where you can cover these up, or the blank ones where you can write your own. So that's the only difference. But let's go through this really quickly anyway, just in case you haven't seen that video. So you've just got your welcome page, and of course your personal page, and then your year on a page. They've actually put 2 years on each page, so for 4 years, and then it goes straight into your monthlies. Now this is a little bit different, and sometimes I go back and forth on this, but if I have to create my own, I would like all of my months and everything correlated to that month all together. So like your January month followed by your January pages, because once January is gone, I just want it out of my mind. I don't want to think about January again. However, this is set up where you have to have your monthlies in the beginning or at the end, whatever you want, and then your dailies. So you can't interchange those two. So the tabs for the monthlies, they do have the same thing going along with that stark kind of black and white pictures, but these do change for each month, and then you can see you've got a few months down here. So that's the front of it, and then this is what your monthly pages will look like. So this is, again, the personal size, the compact size. So this is small. The lines are 4 millimeters. It does have the notes on here, which I do like, and I like that that's also highlighted. I also like that this is highlighted for the day with the actual number. And then I do like that there are lined on the monthlies. That's just something I like. It's personal preference, but fortunately it has it here. But other than that, there's just not a lot of room to do anything else. So if you do want to add some pretty colors or washi tape or something like I usually do, then there is a little bit of space here. You could cover up the notes if you wanted to, but other than that, it is pretty classic looking. And then on the back of this, it's divided into 2 sections. You've got your index here with a highlighted section and for the date. You could also use this for more of a task list if you wanted to, but this is the official task list down here. They do have it divided in personal and business like they do on all of their other inserts. And I've talked about that. Not everybody has personal and business, so it would be nice for them to just leave that blank. So you could come up with your own different categories, but then of course I do like the highlighted section divided into 2 as well. So a little bit different from some of the other ones that I have. And then here's February. It's the exact same format, so I will just flip through to the pictures. So you can see that they do change every month, and they kind of go along with the season. So here's, I think this is supposed to be a leaf with some dew on it. And there's June. I like this one with the water. Here is summer. I think that looks like a birch tree. And then some mountains, winter. So as you can see, not all of them correlate, but I think they're just kind of going with the season. Anyway, okay, then you get to your next 12 tabs that it comes with. And these are all the same as the other inserts. So planning calendars, planner guide, your value and your mission statement, goals, finances, key information. This one, 7 habits, of course, that's going to be exclusive for this one. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then the address and phone. The other ones that I've gotten have just don't have the 7 habits, and then they have 1 through 5. So that's the only difference there. And of course, like I mentioned, you don't have those blank things where you can change up your tabs. Then here is the pouch page finder. So I did end up with 2 of these. I'm actually happy about that because of the starter pack. So this also comes, one comes with your inserts. And then your weekly compass cards do fit in here. I'll show you that again. Actually, I'll show it this way because that's got the rings on it. These are perforated. Here's the perforation line on that one, and then this one's over there. So they fit really, really well into there. So your compass, what's the most important thing I can do in this roll this week? You put the date, and then your rolls and your big rocks. So here's sharpen the saw. And then it has space for 7 rolls and then what your big rocks for each of those. And you get 4 lines of that. And then on the back is just notes, which you can do whatever you want with. And then the reminders on how to plan weekly and how to plan daily. You do get 26 of these as well, which 26 times 2 means 52. So that means you get enough for the entire year, which I love. Then advertisement page. Here's the planner guide. And so this will explain all of the planner system that Franklin Covey has. As you can see, it's a lot more detailed than a lot of other ones, but they are very much a top-down planner type of company, probably the highest or the most top-down that I've ever seen because it has a lot of different pages in here. So here's your values page, roles, and these are all just activities that you're supposed to do with. So you start here before you even go to your planner pages. Your starting questions, what you want to do, tributes, evaluation, and then you go to your personal mission statement. So all of this is supposed to be done before you go to your pages. You can absolutely just use your pages, but I feel like you're kind of missing out on the Franklin Covey goodness if you don't do that. Then still with the same thing as the starter pack, you get those 5 goal planning pages. And like I mentioned in that video, you cannot order these separately in the compact size. You can only order these in the classic size, which I wish that they could. Your 4 pages of your finances. So this is an expense tracker, budget worksheet. This is your yearly income and expense, and then your auto, personal information, family and friends on the back, medical, there, and then special days, so six months on the front, 6 on the back, 1 website tracker front and back, then your pages I don't care about, toll-free numbers, weights and measures, and a map, and then you get name and address pages. I think you get about 8 of those, so quite a few of those. And so that is the first part of it. So let me show you again. This whole section is exactly the same as the starter pack except those blank labels. So, and that comes with every single one of the inserts that you order. Then it goes right into your daily pages. So here's January. And with the months, it just has a black on the top, a black header. And then I like that the date, or this little section right here, if you want to use it some other way, is highlighted in that taupe color. And the lines, you can do whatever. So an index, if you want to do bullet type of journaling or other type of tracking, whatever you want to do. And so here are what the pages look like. So as you can see, they look a lot like a lot of other calendar pages, but Franklin Covey does have some elements to it that are different. So this is, because this is January, this is going to match the green over here of the January tabs. So each month is going to match whichever tab is over here color. They do have right here, they have this on the monthly as well, but they also have holidays written down, very fine print. So it's not super noticeable, but if you are interested or you want to have that, it is there. There are no icons, however, associated with that. And then this is exclusive also. It's going to be hard to see because this is in white ink, but this is a square and this is their quadrant, which again is for their system, and it's Roman numerals 1, 2, 3, and 4. This one highlighted in white is Roman numeral 2 because you're supposed to be in 2 all the time, which means you're doing important things, but they're not urgent. And so that's a nice visual reminder there. This has the letter Q, and this highlighted section down the timeline is you're supposed to mark which quadrant you're in when you're doing whatever activity or appointment that you have here. So that helps you to either reframe things or figure out how you can get back to quadrant 2. Of course, the timeline goes from 8 a.m. and down to 7 p.m. They are in 30-minute increments, or if you have large handwriting, you can just use for the hourly. They do have one that is blank above it and below it. If you don't like the timeline, it's very small and you could easily just ignore that or white it out or whatever you want to do. And then this is also with every Franklin Covey. It's got the key right here. So the check for completed, arrow for forwarded, X for deleted, G with a check is delegated, and a dot is in process. So they are the ones that originally came up with this kind of symbol, and then the bullet journaling kind of took off with that a few years ago. So the arrow right here is where you put your symbols. The ABC is where you prioritize with also a 1, 2, 3, so like an A1 or a B2. I really like that these are highlighted. Not all of the Franklin Covey inserts do have these 3 different highlighted sections with that header like that. So I really like this in the 7 Habits. And not all of this over here is highlighted either. Sometimes they just have a line straight down. So that's a really great feature and one of the things I was hoping for with these inserts. Then this, of course, is going to be also only with the 7 Habits. They do have a quote from the 7 Habits book, and it correlates to a certain habit. So each day will be a different habit. A lot of their other inserts do have quotes, which I really like, and so you will get a quote over here on the right-hand side. And from what I can tell, they do kind of relate to the habit that they're talking about. I mean, it may not be like apparent, but they do. It seems like they are kind of trying to match those 2 up. And there are 7 habits, but it repeats every 8 days. And so I'll get to that in just a second. But another thing I was wondering is, like for instance, January and February, is that when you're supposed to focus only on habit 1, and then like late February, early March, April, you're supposed to focus on habit 2? That is not the way this is set up. And I actually like this format a lot better. So every day has a different habit and it repeats itself. So it's not just only the habit 1. I don't know why they start with habit 6, but they did. And before I get to show you that, let me go to the notes pages. So your planning is going to be on the left, note pages on the right. Of course, you get these little calendars. Easily, you could cover up these with washi tape or stickers if you didn't want that, to add a little bit of color there. Again, I'm loving these highlighted sections here. So this is notes. The sky's the limit here. You could either do habits or tracking or journaling or anything like that. And then you get another one of these black and white pictures. And so there's the quote. So this is the main spread, and let me show you how this repeats itself. So starting with habit 6, and then you go to habit 7, and then another quote, and then these repeat every 7 days, not to be confusing, but it took me a while to figure that one out. So, and then these pictures start over on a Monday, whereas the habit quotes just start over every 8 days. So you can't really, that's the only pattern that there's there. So here's a Sunday. So this will be your last picture of this one. And you start over on a Monday with a different picture. So now we're at habit 1. So let me show you back where it repeats. It goes all the way to 7. And then right here, it says foundation. Sorry, my camera is not wanting to focus this close, but This is a foundation of the 7 habits, and so that's where you get the repeat of the 8. So it starts with the foundation, repeats the 7 habits all in a row, and then it just repeats that pattern there. So here's Sunday. So now you'll be at habit 1, same picture, habit 2, same picture, habit 3, same picture, habit 4, same picture, habit 5, same picture, habit 6, same picture, 7, same picture. This is probably one of the few where it will actually start on the first of the week, which is Monday, where different picture, start with the foundation quote, and it's going to repeat itself. So when you get to the next Sunday, actually the next Monday, it's going to be habit 1, different picture. So that's how it works. And then let me show you how it looks at the end. So the end of the month, you're going to get this page, which is business expenses. Now clearly, Franklin Covey caters to professionals in the business world. Not everybody is going to have business expenses, and even if you are in the business world, very professional, you're not necessarily going to need to track expenses. So I think this page could be improved greatly and just be left blank for other people to fill in how they want it. But it is set up to track expenses. So it has day and each day of the month, so it's 1 through 31, business purpose, where, why, who, etc. And then it's got 4 columns there, and then a totals down at the bottom. So obviously the rest of us are just going to have to adjust, but here we start with the next month. So back to that index page. And then the other thing that I noticed, which is a little bit random to me, is you get once in a while, you will just get a notes page like this. And these are those 7 habits note pages that I ordered back on my accessories video that I showed you. This is what I was wanting. I was wanting quotes and things like that on these note pages, which is why I said I was disappointed with them. I didn't think they were worth the money because I wanted something more of like the calendar pages where you're getting those inspirational quotes. Here's just a marketing page, and then it starts here, which is March, and then it starts with April, which is now the new color, matching the tabs over here, those same color, and it's just got that same pattern where every 7 days, Monday through Sunday, you've got a new picture, and then it repeats every days with the foundation to the 7 habits. So you get the idea there. And here again, it's just another random note page. I'm going to flip through these really quick in case you're interested what the pictures look like. I am not overly keen on these pictures. I mean, they're beautiful pictures, don't get me wrong, but I don't know about you, but when I'm in a planner, I'm like motivated, I want to be focused, I want to be energized, and these pictures just make me want to go to sleep. And they don't want to make me like jump out of the bed in the morning. They make me want to just, chill and not do anything. See that one with a hammock? I mean, you know what I'm saying? It's just kind of odd to me. I don't know. Maybe they're just trying to make it so we're not stressed out when we're trying to get some things done. But anyway, here's the last section, which is the winter months. Sorry, that was too fast. So yeah, it's just that same thing. So I think what I'm going to do is end up covering these with some other like bright motivational stickers, kind of like happy planner stickers, because those really make me happy looking at them. Whereas this just wants me to, I just want to take a nap after I look at those. Okay, so at the very end, let me show you the planning calendars, which I think this is a nice touch. So you get a notes page on the front, and then it goes into calendars. And these look just like, your regular monthly ones from the standard inserts. So that's really nice. And you get a full year of month on 2 pages for the next year. So that's nice. And then let me show you what these other pages look like. So here's your future planning for the next 4 years. So ultimately you get 5 years of future planning, which is kind of unheard of. I don't know of any other planner inserts or company that does that, but here's your year on 1 page. This is really great. I think I'm like a lot of you. I don't have a ton of future planning, but it is nice once you do have it. And I don't think you know, a year on one page takes up much room. I actually have something for 2 years and a 5-year that I need to write down. And then on the back of that, you get another note page. And then you now get 7 habits. And this is 13 pages, so double-sided, of course, is 26 pages. This really is the synopsis or the overview of the 7 habits. And so it really is a great reminder, or if you haven't read it, a nice just what it really means. I like this a lot. I'm actually reading the 7 Habits book again, and I wanted something like this in my planner. I'm loving this because I was actually going to, with these graphics like that, I was just going to print them out myself anyway and stick them in my planner. So I think this is even better than that. So I'm really happy with this section. Of course, you know, this is going to be exclusive to the 7 habits, but here's what those look like. So these are really just great reminders for me because I just forget. If it's not in front of me or I haven't written it down, it's just kind of out of sight, out of mind for me, unfortunately, which is why I paper plan like a lot of the rest of you. So here's the habits that I told you about and the end, and then you get 3 notes pages. Same thing, so those 7 habits there. So the things that are really exclusive are that quadrant that's highlighted, the Q section on the timeline, the habits quotes from the book, and then of course that 7 habits section in the back. So I really like it. I think, because I always give my opinion about this, I do think that this is worth the money. I did want to try the personal size for planning. I have never done that in a ring bound. And of course, since I got it half off, I'm really happy about that, even though I had to do the whole planning or the whole customer service thing. I wanted to see how these looked in detail. I wanted to see how they were going to work for me, especially how they incorporated how these were different with the 7 habits versus their other inserts. So these did live up to my expectations. I'm really happy for them. Other than, you know, the super stark, you know, the black and white and the very dark colors, I think that they are going to work for me, and they were worth the money. My ultimate plan with these is I want to have the solid foundation of the Franklin Covey planning system. Without going into any more detail, I just need to be more focused, and I've got to get more stuff done. And that's really what the Franklin planning system is. And then I also do, once I have that foundation, I do want to add in some pretty elements of the things that I have been enjoying in my other planners. Like I said, the stickers and the washi tape. I think that's going to help me with just this, you know, very masculine feel to it. I do think that these are the best that I have found on the market as far as if you want to combine the top-down planning, which is the big picture goal, what you want to do with your life kind of planning, versus and the bottom-up planning. It's been almost a year now since I did my series on that, but I need both in my life, and so that bottom-up planning is really what you're looking at on just the daily pages, where you start planning your life on how you're actually going to accomplish your goals and how it's going to look like every day, week, and month, by hour, all that kind of thing. So I'm excited to try these out. It's going to be a few more weeks till I figure out my system and everything, but I did want to share these with you because I do think that they are definitely worth looking at for everybody. Anyway, thanks for watching, and I will talk to you again soon.